Just love my my chocolate protein, green kale, spinach leaf, magnesium powdered drink. Nothing makes me happier.
Help human life, learn, laugh, and thrive. You're gonna laugh so hard it's gonna make you cry. The knowledge we provide will help you learn and thrive. So stay tuned now for a new episode as we turn off the beats and we start the show.
Here we go.
I would say this is a pretty weak start to the podcast, not gonna lie.
Pretty what?
Probably start over.
We can start over anytime. I'm gonna edit all this together and make it cool.
Aye.
That's what I usually do. I edit all the shit things we say and make it cooler than it really is.
Yeah. Yeah, finish your story.
That's how you want to restart this?
I thought you said you were gonna edit it, so.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, when you say start over, I thought you meant start over. Dude.
I'm fucking out of it, dude. I'm tired.
I am out of it too, dude. Alright.
Note to self, never wait till the Monday before to do the fucking podcast.
This is the second time we do this. You'd think we would have fucking learned. But no, we were going through a very stressful fucking day with the goddamn customer service oriental people.
Yeah, you know,
You know computer on! Is computer on! You know computer on! Listen, lady, the screen's black. I can't see if the fucking computer's on. That's the goddamn problem. You swear to me! You swear to me!
And I was like, yeah, you know, maybe we'll just do a system restore, try that. No, we do something else. Does all this other shit. Let's do a system restore. System restore works, computer's working. She's like, no, we're going to do more shit. Gotta be on the phone with them again Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
No. Send me a fucking box.
That's exactly what I'm going to tell them.
I'm not talking to you. I'd be like, my time is too fucking valuable. You can't afford me. Dell. $1 billion company. You can't afford my time.
Okay, dude.
Anyways, dude, welcome to the Health Humor Life podcast. My name's Tyler. Matt's sitting over there. And today, we are going to be talking about our paranormal adventures. The reason why we're doing this one is because we were recently on a radio show where they discussed like conspiracy theories, UFOs, like extraterrestrials and shit, and what else?
Anything under the sun, really. It's just it's like a truth radio station, so they don't censor themselves. They'll talk about anything and everything, whether it sound extremely far-fetched or... Most of the stuff sounds extremely far-fetched, but a lot of conspiracy theories, as we know, over the past, especially some older ones, have come true. I don't have any examples off the top of my head, but there's lots of shit that people think are fake that is actually true. We're not going to try to convince anybody here, but we will tell you our stories that we've had, our personal experiences in the condo, and you can kind of judge for yourself.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, because that's one thing I wanted to really explain in the beginning is we grew up very Catholic school, church on Sunday kind of family. Both of us came from that kind of family, and...
Before we keep going, I want to give a shout out to the radio station that had us on. It's on L&M Radio, and the show is called Late Night in the Midlands. You can go to latenightinthemidlands.com and check them out. They've helped us out and had us on the show. It was, we went into a lot of shit that, I'm not going to go that deep on here right now. So if you guys want to hear if you guys have an open mind and you want to hear a lot more shit, go listen to that show that we're on.
If you are checking us out because we were on the radio station, we appreciate you coming to check us out. And hopefully this ends up being a very interesting podcast for you. But going back to what I was talking about, we came from a very Catholic family. Our beliefs, were stemmed from that type of religion at the time. Over time, our views changed because of the shit that we went through in the condo.
Yeah, after experiencing stuff, absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So, with that being said, I'll take it, like, Matt, what was your first... I don't remember you talking about your first experience.
Which experience are you talking about?
Was it the
It was the
frat house?
One. Talked about that, yeah.
Okay. We gotta talk about that again. I know it's stacked. Don't want to bring it up, but we're gonna talk about it again.
Alright. I'm tired of shit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Had a fucking rough week. So, forgive me if we're a little blah. Alright, let me be as animated as I can in my very tired fucking state.
Do you want me to start, dude? Because you sound like shit. Do you want me to start? Want me to talk about mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I'm not going to talk about my first paranormal experience. I'm going to talk about what happened when we got in the condo. When we got in the condo, Matt's sister messaged us. This is where it all fucking started, dude. Was when your sister messaged you and said, we did a reading. We did a reading with the medium, and she brought you up, and she brought up your sister.
Okay, so my sister Michelle brought up Sarah? Is that what you're saying?
Dude.
Yeah. So I had a sister that passed away when I was, before I was born. My sister just went to this group medium type thing. They would just sit in a group, and it was kind of just like a little gathering type setting, and the medium would go around and kind of just say what she feels. So we know this medium pretty well now. She's definitely not fake whatsoever. She's proven that to us a million times over. We'll go into that a little bit later. But anyway, my sister calls me up, and I'm trying to remember exactly how she worded it, but she said, yeah, the medium came and said she felt, in one way, shape, or form, she said that she felt that I was like the reincarnated version of my sister, and that my soul wanted to live life as a male because it would better suit the purpose of the mission, is what she said. So that was really intriguing to me. So after that was, how we got started in going to see mediums.
Yeah, because after that, I was like, dude, schedule an appointment because I want to see this girl. Because at that time, I was going through something myself that I couldn't explain, and I didn't know how to even remotely fucking tackle it. But went to go see her, and it was Michelle, your sister, you, and me, right?
I believe so. You have a better memory of this than I do.
Was your mother there?
No.
Okay, so it was us three. We're going into this just knowing about that story. We weren't going into it like thinking, we were going into open-minded, but at the same time, how much shit could she possibly know? So for the people out there that don't believe in this shit, I was like, okay, I'm going to go in there, dude, and she's going to tell me shit, and I'm like, whatever. It's probably going to be a load of shit. And when she was in there, my grandmother passed away like 3 weeks before I went there. She was suffering from Alzheimer's. It was bad. It was bad. Like, seeing her the way I saw her. She immediately brought her up to me. She told me some shit that kind of fucking blew me away. She said some of the stuff like they were giving her too much medicine. She's like, I can taste the medicine that they're giving her, like the morphine and shit. It was like that detailed. Like, okay, she knew that she was there. She was like, your mother did a lot for her. Like, she went she went into detail about this. It just wasn't like a cold read. A lot of people think that mediums are like cold readers, where they just start shouting out, does someone have a husband? You have a husband? Okay. Someone has a husband who's male. It's not
that sounds like John Edwards.
Yeah, but the thing is John Edwards developed that. Like, he's not bullshit, dude. Like, he developed that, and he got it down on how he it's fucking crazy. If you watch there's a documentary on him.
Yeah.
And it just shows, like, his whole life. But, like, she brought up my grandmother, and that intrigued me. And then she said, you have the gift. And she's like, you get it from your grandmother. And at that time, I know my mom is very intuitive, and she's, like, she is crazy. Like, she has that fucking mother sense where, like, she calls me and, like, knows that I'm doing bad shit. You know what I mean? It's that
type of bad shit you're doing?
I don't know, like, high school fucking getting hammered. That kind of shit. Like, she knew, like, hey, fuck you doing? Like, she knew. I thought I got that from my mother. I'd be like, okay, cool. If I have any type of gift, of a medium gift or intuitive gift, empathic gift or whatever, it's because I got it from my mother. And that wasn't the case because the medium that we were talking to was like, no. Like, she's adamant that you got this from her. She's like, no. I kept saying it was my mother. She's like, no, it wasn't your mother. You got this from her. And I was like, okay.
So why don't you tell them kind of your experiences since then, your personal ones of what you've come to...
So, yeah, I will. A lot of people talk about mediums, talk about how they're fake, how they do cold reads and all that shit like I just told you about. But no one talks about the fucking struggle of dealing with this shit. Because, yeah, it's a gift in a way. Like, people go, okay, yeah, you sit in a room and, like, I don't know how people who don't believe think, because I always had an open mind to it, because there's people out there like debunk mediums, you know what I mean? That try to prove that they're bullshit.
Yeah.
After going through what I went through, I'm like, dude, I don't understand how.
That's what I was going to actually just came to mind before you say that. Is you're talking to a lot of people that probably aren't too open-minded about this kind of stuff, and they don't believe in ghosts and spirits and that kind of stuff, which is totally fine. But you got to kind of talk from that perspective of...
Right, and that's kind of where I'm going with it. Like, like, that's what my first thought was I'm going to a meeting with this chick and a medium, and it's going to be a load of shit. And there's no way they're going to convince me. To the point now, if I go see an intuitive healer, if I go see a medium, dude, I am fucking worried about the shit that they're gonna dig out of me because of how it works. When she told me I had a gift, I didn't think anything of it. Okay, cool. I've had experiences where I knew shit was gonna happen. Like the first real experience I had was my accident. I got into a bad car wreck back in August of 2009. I left the house that I lived in, and I was getting into a car with my friends, and I had a fucking gut feeling like, oh my god, dude, I can't, this is not good. I gotta make sure my brother gets home safe. So I asked my friend at the time if I could drive his car to get him home. Yeah, no problem, man. So I drove the car, made it home fine. Like, I remember that. I let him out of the car. I get in the back seat. I'm like, all right, dude, have a good one. We were going to meet my buddy who was joining the military. It was kind of his last hoorah thing. It was kind of like a send-away party. A mile from my house, dude. We're going down. The girl that was driving blew the stop sign, went into 4-lane traffic, and there was a Blazer that hit my door going like 70 miles an hour. It pushed the car. We were in a Jetta. It pushed it about, I'm going to say, probably 25, 30 yards into like a ditch. And I remember just bits and pieces. I broke both of my right rib cages, like the back and front. My arm was a mess. Looked like a porcupine. Like I was rough
You almost
shape.
died, correct?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
And they erected a light in your honor, a traffic light.
They did. And I'm glad they did that because, there's still accidents there that kind of blows me away at this point. But they have, at least people know that it's not. Because the kind of the road that we were on was like, it looked like it lined up with the other side because there was a road exactly the other side. It looked like it lined up, but then it was like a fucking quick drop in the middle of 4-lane traffic. You're like, what the fuck? So if you were never there, you would think there was a bridge, but there was no bridge. There's death.
Yeah,
So,
it's a dangerous road.
Yeah. The experience that I had when I went in shock, it almost felt like I was standing on the edge of this cliff and I just fall forward and like a hand the size of my body is like catches me and holds me. Like that's the feeling that I had. Like that's why I got pictures in my mind about it, Here I am today. So with that being said, I knew that was going to fucking happen. I got my brother home safe and got in the car. Even going down my driveway, I was like, are you sure you don't want me to drive? Like, I knew it. And fucking boom. Hospitalized. Moving forward in my life, shit has happened to me that I just can't even... I mean, like, the visions that come into your head and, like, the intrusion of thoughts are just... You don't even... I have what they call attention deficit disorder. My mind races 100 miles an hour. I think of 100 different things at once, and
many people can claim they have that. And I mean, the way I look at it is, there's different levels of it. It's a different way of thinking.
Right.
Some people are more scatterbrained than others.
Disorder,
you're pretty darn scatterbrained.
Yeah, dude, but it's not like it's a fucking disorder. Dude. It's a load of shit.
Yeah, it's a different way of thinking, and it's just people try to use it as a disorder, and drug up all the kids nowadays. So it's just there's ways to focus yourself and ways around it. We just have such a go-go society. Sometimes it's difficult to do.
Right, but what I'm getting at is one thing that the medium said to me is like when a thought comes into your mind that is completely out of the blue and completely random, it's not your thought. And you know how fucking ridiculous that sounds? If a thought comes to my mind, it's not my thought. What?
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that, okay, but I didn't understand, like, until, like, this past year, I finally fucking got it. I didn't get it then, but I got it now. Because I'll be doing something, and a random thought will come to me, and I'm like, fuck, dude, a spirit's reaching out to me. That's how it is, this fucking medium, dude. Everywhere you fucking go, whether it's the supermarket, whether it's school, whether it's a fucking building that we live in, there's constant, I guess, I don't know how it works. I mean, I would assume that our brainwaves are somehow on the same dimensional plane as them or something, and they intrude your thoughts. I'll be driving down the road and I'll immediately be fucking gone out of my head. And I'll be standing next to a police car and I'll be looking toward the woods. And I'm a police officer all of a sudden. I see myself, like, the car, and then I'm back in the car. So I'm thinking, okay, something must have happened here at some point where a cop was scared, a cop was feeling something, maybe there was someone dead in the fucking... Who the fuck knows? But I'm not going to dwell on it. I gotta continue about my day. You know what I mean? And this is the shit that fucking... That's why the condo was such a fucking clusterfuck.
Let me tell briefly about my original experiences. I never realized I had, like, I guess, intuition until maybe a couple years, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always just been able to read people really well. Like, what I've noticed, I've been able to read people's motives and read people's motives. That's what I've always been good at. And I thought it was normal that everybody could do it.
Well, no, you say that, but that's one of the things that's my mother says that. Why don't you just know girls that come home? You can't just bring a girl for dinner sometime? I don't just understand. It's like, Mom, you don't fucking get it. I shake hands with a person and I can see right fucking through them.
Yeah, that's how I feel a lot of the time too.
I can see everything about them, what kind of person they are. And if I don't like that kind of person, I'm not going to fucking involve myself with them.
Yeah, so I'm one who's not had quite the same level of experiences that you've had, but I've had more subtle ones, especially after a Reiki session and being opened up more. Like, the more your chakras are open and the higher your vibrations rise from doing that kind of stuff, the more you can feel more things. Like, I had, after I originally got Reiki, before like a really long, intense Reiki session, like the next week I was feeling like all my clients' emotions. I work with mental health clients, so they were like full of anxiety and all this stuff, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I was taking a walk with one of them through the woods, and I was like, just anxiety kept building for no reason. I was like, what the heck? And I asked this person, I was like, are you anxious right now? She's like, yeah, I'm anxious as heck. I'm like dying right now. Like, they were just extremely stressed about it, and I was feeling all of it. It's crazy. That hasn't happened since that 1 week. So that's the kind of stuff I felt. And I mean, I've got intuitive thoughts too, and like I'm kind of still in the early stages of kind of figuring these thoughts out and deciphering them from, you know, my own thoughts. So my personal outlook on it is we're given a lot of thoughts. A lot of the ideas we're come up with, we're guided through a lot of the things that we do. But the thought that comes to mind that I know I was given is when I had a family member like not doing well mentally, and I kept like thinking about it, and tears would come to my eyes, and sometimes, and I would hear like death, like not good, like negative stuff, like death, and I was like, what the heck? And it was motivating me to reach out to this person, and I did, and I ended up actually bringing them to a medium to kind of work on the mental health issues, which is a whole story for another day.
Really?
Thank you, dog. So, and by no means are we special in any way. Like, everybody has the potential for this ability. It's just a matter of taking the time to develop it, or it opens up in certain people earlier than others. And you know what? We don't have all the answers as to why that is, but everybody has it within them.
Are you fucking kidding me, dog? Enough! Fuck! Yeah, we don't know the reasons. I mean, like, there's days, dude, that I come home and I'm just like, dude, oh my god, I just had such a fucking roller coaster of a day because of all the shit that I've come in contact with. Like, you have those days that are just high fucking energy days.
Explain.
You sense shit more on this type of day than you would on any other day. And this could be because of the stars alignment, the planets, whatever fucking reason it is, dude. I don't know. Some days are worse than others. Just you can feel it. Like, it's different, dude. It's different. And no one, like, I want to actually talk to the medium we went to, because it's like, how did they deal with it? How did they deal with it? Just like, because, dude, it is fucking crazy. Like, I'm still trying to find a way to explain it. Like, it's just an intrusion all the time. It's just, like, that's what it is. It's like, you think of shit, and it's like, why the fuck am I thinking of, like, fucking, like, just random shit, like children on a playground? Why am I getting that? Why do I see that? It's the type of shit, you know what I mean? And, okay, and I see, like, this blonde-haired little girl. Okay, why am I seeing her? It's not all like that. It's all fucking weird, man.
There's a lot of people out there, I'm sure a lot of people, or at least a good darn handful listening, have abilities like this that are developed, but they're kind of in denial of it. Like, I've met a lot of people over just the past, I don't even know, 3 or 4 months, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a coworker that, you know, she opened up to me about her abilities after I brought it up, and she had no idea. She just thought everything that she was experiencing her whole life was normal. I was like, no, you got some major abilities. She'd have vision. She'd have all these feelings. She'd, like, see visions of the future and all this stuff. Same thing with one of my clients I had. We got to know each other over a period of a few months, and she started opening up to me about all of her experiences and her visions that she had and all her, like, stuff that's happened to her. I was like, you got intuitive abilities that are developing.
Well, the thing is, dude, is something that Kobe was talking to me about. When I was telling him, he was just blown away by it. And Kobe's wasn't really open to it When I told him, he was like, dude, he's like, how are you telling me, dude? He's like, I can't even, he's like, I trust you a lot, man. He's like, the way you're talking to me and the way you're telling the story, he's like, there's no fucking way you're making it up. And I'm like, Kobe, I got nothing to gain by making it up, dude. Like, yeah. I'm going through fucking hell, man. This isn't like an easy ride. Like, this is not fun. And he was like, wow, dude, I'm talking to him about it. But the thing is,
I want you to explain to someone, like, explain why it's not fun. What are you going through? Because you haven't really explained that.
I will get to that.
Okay.
I will tell you the story that I told him. But this is what I wanted to tell you. He said, Tyler, there are not a lot of people that can handle this. People go through this shit. They don't know what's going on. They think they're fucked up. They fucking take their own life. Or they can't handle it. Mental illness. That's where I wanted to go with it. Like, it brings a whole new fucking... If they actually, like, researched what people are feeling and kind of, like, bring in spiritual healers or intuitive healers...
To a mental health institute?
To a mental health
Absolutely.
place, right.
I work with mental health patients every day, and they almost, like, at least 3/4 of them have some type of spiritual or intuitive ability where they can sense different things around them.
Or something happened spiritually or intuitively that fucked them up.
Yeah. Yeah, for instance, one of my sickest clients, like one of the most mentally ill clients I have, and like this is a person that when we show like a medium or something, like if they hear a voice or something, like if I got a voicemail, then even just a second of the voice, they'll start feeling everything that they feel, and they're just like blown away by how much stuff this person feels just from hearing like their voice from a distance. And this person told me, I've had her for 2 or 3 years. Okay, so this person, very mentally ill, can't get a grasp on anything, hears voices all the time. She's literally the most well-known mentally ill client we have at the entire mental health facility. So I work with mental health patients doing fitness and nutrition. That's what I do during the day usually. And when you develop a relationship with these people over time, they'll open up to you. And this lady opened up to me about when her symptoms started. She said her mental health symptoms started when she was 5 years old after they had used a Ouija board. And from what we know about Ouija boards, they can attract a lot of negative stuff. And if you're in a negative state of mind, whether you're depressed or whatever, anything that's a low vibrational state of mind, which means negative, like you're more susceptible to having something come in and attach to you, they call it, which sounds crazy to a lot of people out there. I know. It's still crazy to me, but it happens. Possessions happen, attachments happen. A possession is more extreme, which this person very likely could have. And it's not what you think it is, where you see on The Exorcist and all this stuff. It's literally, it shows itself as a mental illness. And sometimes it's people hearing voices.
Going off real quick, just to clear things up, it's not the Ouija board that's evil. Milton Bradley makes it. It's a fucking game board, people. It's not that fucks people up. It's the intent behind it and using it. When you have 9 people trying to communicate with the other side, it opens up fucking doors. It opens up doors and people come through that you don't want to come through. That's why this shit happens. It's because people have the intent. Like my mother was talking about, like a Ouija board was used in her first place that she had by some kid that lived there on the 2nd floor, and she would wake up in the middle of the night and see fucking people walking around in her house. Like
I never heard this story.
Yeah, dude. She like the one thing that she says is like she saw like a cowboy guy, like a guy like described a cowboy. She's like, yeah, he's walking up and down the stairs. I can see shadowy figures walking up and down the stairs. They got a priest in and blessed the home. Again, just like the Ouija board, when a priest comes in to bless a home, it's the intent behind blessing the home that gives it that energy to protect it. I don't want people to think, well, I'm not religious, dude. A priest coming in ain't gonna do anything. It's not about religion. It's about the priest's intent to protect the home spiritually, bringing sacred water. That's the type of where I'm going with it. You don't have to be religious it's just the intent behind it.
Yeah, the medium we went to see, she's a minister. Almost any type of minister in any different religion can be trained to deal with this spiritual type stuff. And they exist.
Right. Dude, when are you fucking serious, dog? Dude,
thanks for knocking over my water, bro.
Oh my god, he's such a pain in the fucking dick.
I mean, he's a good boy, but he's just all up in our face trying to get some attention. Doesn't understand the fact that we're recording a podcast because he's a dog, dude. Give him a break. If you guys want to see pictures of the dog.
No, they don't.
So no. Instagram at GetFitMusicHHL. Photos of the dog. Go to Tyler P's Instagram. It's T Pushard. Pushard. Kind of like push hard, except with one H.
You're so gay. Anyways, dude.
You know You know what? I was thinking we keep this conversation going. The condo ghosts are going to be part 2. Because there's going to be many parts to this paranormal podcast. So we're going to keep talking about the intuitive abilities, that kind of stuff. And we'll do the condo. We'll do the haunted condo of Orchard Beach, Maine on our next paranormal podcast. However, I will tell you guys the frat house story before the end of the podcast.
Cool.
Keep going.
There's so many different religions. They all have the same kind of ground, the same kind of foundation, and there's people that don't believe in anything. They say a lot of people that don't believe in anything, when they're on their deathbed, they change their minds because of what they experience. I'm sure if you experience that shit during your life, you would say something different, but I just want to tell everyone out there that there's more to life than just fucking being here, dude. There's more to life than fucking being here. A good way, what you told me is this, dude. Because the meeting that we went to actually told us that we had like past lives and shit and went on all about it and told us like detailed shit. It reflected to a lot of my fears in this life. It was fucked up. Like, dude, I cannot get over it. Like,
yeah, not even just fears, like skills. Like
yeah.
She told me this is what I resonated with most. She told me that I was a chef in the past life, and that she's like, you'd probably be able to just throw random spices on stuff and it'll come out good in this life. I'm like, fuck, I do that all the time. Comes out great. So,
but it's like just this type of shit that she said was crazy. Going back to the beliefs thing, is what I believe is what you believe happens. Whatever your belief is what happens. You die and go to heaven. That's what you want to believe. That's where you're gonna go.
Yeah, and there's many different names for heaven. And the beings that exist, spiritually on the plane, they can show themselves however they want. So they'll show themselves, say if you're on your deathbed, they'll show themselves in the most comforting way to you as possible. So if you believe angels have wings and all that kind of stuff, and you want one to guide you out, that's probably how they'll appear. They can appear in many different forms. When you don't have a physical body, you can technically appear in any form that you want to, is what is said.
That's actually a really good point, dude. But the way you put it was, dude, we're put on this earth to learn. How the fuck are we supposed to learn everything in one life?
Yeah, there's no way. There's so much to learn.
And like, you know who actually puts it in a good way is fucking Rogan, dude. Joe Rogan. He puts it like, hey, what if we're all meant to live? The whole purpose of life is the golden rule, to treat others the way you want to be treated, because in the grand scheme of things, we're supposed to fucking live life through everyone's shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if that makes the most sense to me, dude.
Another thing the medium was saying too, that I remember she said to me, was you have compassion in this life, especially for people that are handicapped or mentally handicapped, because you had really bad lives where you were handicapped. You were quadriplegic, you had like muscular dystrophy. She said stuff along those lines, like I only lived till 5 in one life because of like a severe debilitating illness. The way she described it sounded exactly like muscular dystrophy. A child gets it, their muscles like completely fail on them and they don't live very long.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Some of the shit that you hear. And like, it's not the stuff that we hear that swayed my belief to like knowing that there's something. It's just my experiences that I went through. The condo especially. Like, the condo is like, when people were coming over, dude, I think the biggest thing that resonated with me, dude, is the thing in the condo when the medium told me, no, you need to pray to archangels. That's what you need to do. You need to call upon archangels. Get out of town. Like, no. I'm going to call upon it and it's going to go away. No way in hell. It's not going to happen like that. But, nope, you do this, you do that, you do this, do that, dude. And I remember doing it in the middle of our condo, dude. On my knees doing it. And, like, the feeling I got, I cannot even fucking describe it. Everything that I thought was changed in that moment.
Yeah, you said you feel like warmth when that happens, or you felt like your hands warm, that kind of stuff? Or?
Dude, there's way more to it. We're gonna get into it next time.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, dude, it's just fucking, dude, it's crazy. People will go through shit, and it's like, they see shit, or they see shit, like, the biggest thing is when you see shit in the corner of your eye, in your peripheral. Everyone's done it, dude. Everyone's fucking seen shit. And they turn their head real fast, and they're like, fuck, no way. Yeah, it was probably a way. Probably saw it. That's just kind of the shit that I'm talking about. It's like...
And I mean, knowing and believing in spiritual type stuff doesn't negate a religion in any sort of way, so don't feel like by believing that these things exist, it means you're not believing your religion, if that's what you want to do. Like, it's all ties in together. All religions tie in together somehow. This whole world ties together, and there's a shitload of information that we don't know right now.
Right.
There is way more to life than what we see, and there's way more to life than the beings on this planet. For those of you who think alien stuff is crazy, look at the fucking stars and all the planets out there, and that's only I don't even know what number to use for that. A mammoth, like, part of that. A tiny little fraction of, like, a sizable universe we can't even imagine.
Dude, how can you look up at the sky and think that we're the only ones out here?
Yeah. There's fucking aliens. Whether they visit us or not right now, personally, I think they fucking do. They're depicted in so much of our history, and a lot of this information is just hidden from us because they don't want us to know. They want us to stay in our little bubble.
Dude, there's another planet just like us where two assholes are sitting on a fucking couch doing a podcast. Like, it wouldn't fucking surprise me. I'm just saying, like, dude, that we're not. There's no fucking way. There's no way, dude. We're the only ones out there. Makes no fucking sense to me how someone can say that with such conviction. Yeah, we're the only ones out there. It's like, dude, wow. Dude, our solar system is like it's just small. It's like tiny. It's like a fucking ant in the world.
It's probably like the toe of a leg of an ant. Probably less than that.
Have you seen Men in Black?
Obviously.
Yeah, when he opens the locker at the end.
Yeah.
And he's in a giant fucking locker. His world's in a giant fucking locker.
Yeah.
He's like, you got a lot to learn, kid. And he fucking opens. That's exactly what it fucking is, dude.
Yeah, that's so true. Yep. And I mean, the evidence is everywhere of stuff we can't see. I mean, anybody that doesn't believe in ghosts, talk to your neighbor. They'll probably have a story. That's what I found out because I'm pretty open about it. And I'll talk to random people about it. And surprisingly, I haven't had one single person shut me down yet. They've all had it as like some sort of story, a ghost story to tell.
Our neighbor shut us down.
Oh, tell that story. Okay. One person shut us down.
It wasn't to shut us down, dude. It's like after we did a paranormal investigation of the condo. We'll go into detail about later. Yeah, I asked our neighbor who lived in the same condo. I'm like,
and we were curious if other people in the condo.
Right, because there's no fucking way, man. It just the shit that was going on in our home was just off the fucking rails, man. It was crazy. So I asked him. I was like, dude, have you ever experienced something weird in here? You know, because there's fucking 140 people in my bathroom and I'm pissing. Like, that's what I'm experiencing.
Is that what you said to him?
No, it's not what I'm saying.
Say what you said to him.
I was like, have you ever experienced anything weird here, you know? And he was like, Tyler, hits my shoulder. Dude, relax, dude, you're safe here. It's just the cats in the basement. It's like, dude, what do you mean, dude, cat? Dude, no! You have no fucking clue.
Yeah, and then he sees me, like, you know, a month or two later, he's like, Tyler's still hearing them cats down there?
Hearing the cats. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, hearing cats daily. Yeah. Lots of fucking cats.
Yeah. Cats don't fucking push you off the goddamn bed. But, oh yeah, dude. Just crazy shit.
Alright, well.
Yeah, I think we're going to pause here, dude. I think this is a good thing to pause.
I'm going to tell the frat house story, just give them some juicy ghost story here. My fraternity brothers will appreciate this story. I don't know who remembers it. So, everybody knows in my fraternity we had a big red house up in Orono. And back in the day, back in the 1800s or whatever, they had house mothers that lived in the fraternity house with the brothers that took care of them and all that kind of stuff. So even when I first got in, it was pleasant. There was rumors about all this stuff happening in the house, stuff getting moved in the third floor, what they called the RAM. They had stories of girls running out of the frat naked because they were so scared because they saw an apparition or whatever, all kinds of stuff.
Wait a minute, they were so scared they got naked on the way out?
Oh no, they were already naked. You know, they were probably with a brother, fooling around.
Oh, okay.
You know.
I thought you meant it like literally scared them out of their clothes.
No. Okay. No.
Continue.
So anyway, I had an ex-girlfriend that could hear spirits or had heard them in the past or whatever. Never saw one, anything like that. But anyway, I decided we had this thing called the Evelyn test, as we called it, and most people just joked about it, so it was kind of a joke.
Well, that was her name, right? I don't think.
Oh yeah, the Evelyn test. Yeah, the ghost name, the house mother's name in the house was Evelyn. That's what we called her anyway. Whether that was their actual name, I don't know. But so it was the Evelyn test. She used to have a room in the house, so it would be she's kind of a protector of the brothers, is always what the rumor would be. And we put so the joke was we bring a girlfriend up to Evelyn's room and see if she passed the Evelyn test. If Evelyn didn't appear and get mad, well, she passed the Evelyn test. Evelyn would appear if this girl was impure or just not good or just had a trashy history or whatever, in protection of the brothers. So I bring my girlfriend at the time in this room, and I leave her in there for a little bit, and she starts freaking the fuck out, like so scared, like no tomorrow. I had to run her down the frat house stairs as she's screaming and hollering, like get her outside. I didn't really know what was going on until we got outside, and she was like pleading with this thing. She said she saw like an orb following her, and then this thing was just like yelling at her and bitching at her, like, get out of the house, get out of the house. And I mean, as I found out later, this girl has a very trashy history, as I partially may have known part of it at the time and still dated her anyway. That's my bad, I guess. But anyway, So this girl's hearing her yelling, and it was at the point where she was on her knees pleading with someone who wasn't there to leave her alone as she told me to stand, like, away. Like, I was standing probably 100 yards, no, not 100 yards, probably like 20, 30 feet away from her, like just watching her on her knees pleading with this thing. I was like, oh, okay. Then the cops came and asked me why I had I was 19 at the time. They were like, why do you have a 17-year-old chick on my campus? I was like, I'm dating her. So... Anyway, that was the end of that. I had another frat house story, another ghost story in the frat house. A bunch of guys were sitting downstairs, doing whatever. They were
doing whatever. That's a good one. We'll keep it as that.
I'll keep it at that. They were having some sort of substance in some sort of edible form.
They were obviously baking just chocolate chip cookies.
That's
what they were doing.
I wasn't doing any of that, but I was hanging out with them. So one of the guys walks over. And this is, as we have found out so far, when you have any sort of, marijuana-type substance in your system, you're more open, your chakras are more open, you're more susceptible to attachments, possession, or just in general. So anyway, this guy was walking towards the stairs, and all of a sudden he stops, spazzes out, looks really fast in all directions, and then keeps walking up the stairs. And I was eyeing him while he was doing this, and no one else was paying attention. I was like, what the F? So I followed him, and I went over, and I was like, dude, what was that all about? He's like, I saw something. It was smiling at me. I'm like, what? So I keep following up the stairs because I want to know more about what the heck he's talking about. So I keep kind of asking him questions up the stairs. He's like half kind of listening, half ignoring me. And then one of the other brothers runs down and he's joking about running down in the basement naked or doing whatever. And this guy's like, the guy that did the spaz out was like, no, it wouldn't like that. It wouldn't like that. Then a few minutes later, I keep asking him about it, and he totally forgets anything even happened. He doesn't remember any of it. Doesn't remember saying it. Doesn't remember anything. So that's my personal frat house story from up into the Orono, the Maine. There is actually a paranormal investigation on this frat house that was done online as well. So you can look up the Beta Theta Pi house in Orono, Maine. I believe there's an investigation on it. So that's that story.
It's a good story.
You got anything else you want to add before we end? Next time, we're going to keep this paranormal stuff going because we got a lot of stories and even some that keep happening nowadays. But we're going to go into the haunted condo of Orchard Beach, Maine. We're going to talk about, health, humor, life. We're very open-ended with what we talk about. We'll talk about anything. If you guys have suggestions of stuff you want to hear about, email us, healthhumorlife@gmail.com. Go to the website. The links are all there. We also have free ebooks on the website. There's an ebook on weight loss, nutrition for weight loss. There's a video course on New Age nutrition. And there's also, if you type in your email, you can reserve a copy of the book I'm putting out. That is how to treat and cure severe anxiety, depression, low testosterone, just all kinds of remedies, how to cure it naturally. And if you guys are having trouble with anything that you want help with out there, please email us because I will add it to that manual because that's what I do. I want to help everybody with whatever issue they're having, and that's what I specialize in is natural treatments for things. And I will put it in the book in the most simple way possible so that you can put it right to work. So that's what you get for free for typing your email address over at thehealthhumorlife.com. We're not going to spam you. It's just kind of joining what we call the VIP club.
Yeah, no, it's
to
just...
get notifications from us. We'll give you free stuff, and we'll let you know when we have new podcasts available and such. That's all. And you can unsubscribe at any time. So definitely go over there and get that free ebook. Check out the video course too. It's worth watching if you want to learn a lot about nutrition. It's definitely, I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're going with it. It's like the people that sign up are the people that support us, obviously, and like what we're doing. And that's our way of giving back to you is giving you this free information. Yeah, and if you don't like what we're doing, just type in your email address, go to the site, download the ebooks, then hit unsubscribe, and tell us to go fuck ourselves. That'd be good too. At least you'll get some help. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's like we're trying to help as many people as we can. You're not gonna get there's nothing negative that can come out of fucking reading these books. You know what I mean? It's like not.
I kind of wish we did a warm-up podcast first because, man, was I fucking exhausted at the beginning of this. Now I got more energy. I'm a little more peppy, but now we're ending, so good night, everybody. Leave us a review, please, if you can. There's actually instructions now online that actually work on the website. We can use reviews because it's helping to spread the word. It helps grow our brand. So any sort of help, you guys go there on iTunes, leave us 5 stars. All you got to do basically is go on your iPhone, search for our podcast, click on reviews on your iPhone, and then just leave one, and there you go. Just make sure you add a lot of numbers to your username, or else chances are it'll be taken.
Like, for example, if you use fucking David, if you use Big D. Don't laugh, because this is fucking real. This happened. I got a message from my buddy. He's like, dude, I can't leave a review. I don't understand what's going on. I'm like, dude, what do you... Like, I was like, dude, go to the site. It shows directions. He goes to the site. His next thing was like, all right, Matt, your site. How do I leave a review? I'm like, oh my God, dude. This fucking guy.
Thank you to those who have left reviews so far. We've gotten a bunch the last couple weeks or so. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. We will have plenty more entertaining podcasts coming up. And, next time, I want to make sure I have more fucking energy when we start.
Yeah, well, we won't do that fucking 9 o'clock at night, Monday fucking night.
Yeah, it was kind of our own fault waiting till the night before.
It's all because that fucking chick on fucking Dell.
Yeah, I can't wait to spend 6 more hours on the phone with Dell on Wednesday.
You know stock computer. You know computer on. So what the fuck? What? Like, she would say shit, and we both would be like looking at each other like...
Take your memory out of computer.
Yeah, like that was fucking helpful, huh?
And put it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? They were probably fucking laughing their ass off on the phone. Like, this asshole is gonna unscrew fucking 17 screws, pop the thing off, take out 2 fucking sticks of memory, and put them back in, and we're fucking laughing. No.
Nothing did change.
No,
Still
didn't.
fucked up.
Yep.
Sometime in February, we will have the Haunted Condo of Orchard Beach, Maine, so keep an eye. Subscribe to the podcast. You'll see when it is. It'll be interesting. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
See you next time.
See you later, guys.
If you enjoyed this podcast or any of our other podcasts, do us a favor and leave us a positive 5-star review on iTunes. It helps us move up the charts and help and entertain more people. See you next time, guys.
This fucking dog, dude. He does not fucking stop all the time. Look at his face, dude. Every day, we're trying to record a fucking podcast and you keep fucking it up.
Spilled my goddamn water.
All over the goddamn floor.